Test, test. How do you do what you do to me? If I only knew, if I knew how you did it to me, I would do it to you. Do. Good morning. If I knew how you did it to me, I would do it to you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I am the Active Trader, and if you're here listening right now, don't run away. We're going to go over and see what's happening right now because we know today, what is it, 2:30? The feds are going to speak. And what they say can have an effect on everything that happens. All right, let me go figure out real quick what the contracts are going to be. At the moment, I don't know if anybody here is trading or waiting. Two people ran away. See that? They ran away. 442, 443. Wow. So contracts did change. 443. 444 on the SPY. Let's see what we got here. Trade. September 20th, 44.50 if anybody's looking at SPX for a put, and 44.55 will be your call. I want to take a quick look and change that to 20th contracts today, or the 20th. Then we're going to go down to NVIDIA. NVIDIA at the moment is 435. Right, just give me a second. I'm telling you what they are, and then I'll put them out there for you. And 432.50. 432 dot. Take out a dot there. That takes care of that one. All right, next. NVIDIA is Tesla. No, AMD, I'm sorry. AMD is 102 and 103. That one's correct from yesterday. Tesla is 267.50 and 265. That one is correct from yesterday. And Meta is 305. And boy, it's right on the money. 305 is right on the money. 305, 250. I'm going to go with that for the moment. And there you go. And there's the contracts as they stand. Now, I need to do a little quick thing real quick and let others know that I am live. Okay. So, Active Trader is now live streaming. Okay. Let's just take a copy on that. Add up my little emblem thing. And if anybody has any questions for me, just put them on the board. Options. Okay. There we go. That takes care of that one. Let's see who else is out there. Lobbies. Okay. There's that one. Let me see where else I'm at. Okay, let's see. 60 people. And let's go to a few of the people out there that are not open at the moment. Kush. How's everybody having a good day? Is everything going on? $9.53. Okay. That takes care of this. Open. Bingo. This over here. That's deck. There's me. Okay. All's good. And let me make sure this is up to date. Take that off. Make sure all the sounds are off so there's no, you got to do a lot of things when you open up a live stream. You have to make sure that the volume on the actual charts are off. Then if you have other ones open and other, you have to make sure those are off. Otherwise you get feedback or music. But we'll leave that off for right now. Anyway, just trying to get cute with you. All right. And right now, I'm going to take a quick look at the day and the market and what's happening in the markets right now. Because, you got a lot of this anticipation. And I believe that the anticipation is that the feds are not going to raise the rates. And as long as that's the case and they don't raise the rates, that should bring some positive into the market. So right now, if we take a quick look at FinViz, all right, you can see it reflects that. And what we see right now, hold on, let that open up. You can see that the Dow is up 177 points. Yet the Nasdaq is down, but the Russell, which is your Nasdaq top 2,000 stocks, is up just slightly. With the S&P's only up 10, $11. You can see right now where our power is and where we're not. So Microsoft, Apple, Google. I mean, three of your largest out there today are negative. Where you have Amazon, Tesla, okay, and then a lot of financials are doing well. Healthcare is doing well. Your industries is all green. I think there's one little red spot in there. There's some little dark spots in there. But pretty much you can see we're green today. Now you can take a look here. This is a penny stock. I'm really not into anything under $1. I wish I could weed this out. DTOC, which has been we've been watching that for 2 days, is up 24. It's up 75%. BJDX, I'm not sure what's really going on with that one. This one here has just started. SWIN is up about 26 cents. And SCS, which is up 24%. I don't go any further than that right now. CATC is up 24% too. So there's a few of them in here. I mean, if you look at the stock, that one just spiked up, spiked up, spiked up. That one there's a small spike. Some of these look okay, but they're a little more expensive. SCS, we're still here. That's new highs, but right there, CATC. All right. And if you want, you can always bring up, let's say, your watch list. I didn't take out my old ones from the other day yet. And I can put in, let's say, I don't like the first one. DTOC should be in here. Actually, it's not. I must have taken it out. DTOC. Then let's do the next one, which is BJDX. So we got BJDX. Put it in there. SWIN. Yeah, SWIN, and this is how quick you can put things into your watch list. All right, and it pays to do this. Enter and one more. We'll go one more because we can always get rid of them. And that's CATC. Anything else? CATC. And that's it. Okay, let's take this off the screen. Now, right here we can see TTOO. I'm going to take that out of there. This one here has no volume. STIX, get rid of that one. Mira, that was a IPO from I think last week, has no volume. SQL, Riot, I want to leave. Carnex, CRNX. I'm not sure what this is. It's easy to borrow. Oxy, also easy to borrow. Baba. All these are in the green today, as you can see. These are very, very low. But this here, like PFSW, it only has 33,000. I really don't want to watch that. And this one here is 115,000. Hard to borrow. I don't want to watch that. And here, 142,000. These stocks just don't have enough volume to even, consider to keep watching them. Some of these either. All right. And then what we can do is we can go into my large. All right. Go into here, open back the watch list, and I have this here. So you see when I go to the top, it's going to open the stock, and you can see what it's doing. So it's already pulled back from 29.50. BGDX has already hit its high, and it's coming down. Okay, CATC, that one's still there, but not really doing much at this time. SCS already hit its high. It's pulled back. And let's see, it looks like the whole market, everything's pulled back. Same thing here. So there's really no top here. Just AVGR, worth watching. You can see it's a bumpy road. It's going up. It's forming new highs, new highs each time. So you've gone from here. It did come back down, but then it started to form new highs and new lows. So I would keep an eye on AVGR. Okay, it's up 17%. It's not a cheap, let's see, it's only $12. All right, so that we have there. The next thing I wanted to go over with you real quick, because things change so quickly, is I'm going to go in on this side, and I'll bring it up to you guys. I'm going to go in and open up my scanner, and I'm going to use Stock Hacker, not Option Hacker. The difference between the Option Hacker and the other one is the Option Hacker, detach. The Option Hacker only does optionable stocks, but this one here, the Stock Hacker, does both options and stocks. So I'm going to hit that. I want to bring it down to about 5 minutes. Let's do it one more time. Come on. There we go. We want to make sure we're in the highest percentage, up, down, and here we go. We got FRTX, opened at 88. It's only around last 90. It's not worth watching. This opened 285, Omega, OMGA. It's only up about 50, 60 cents, and it's holding nothing really much here. Now, this one here, AVGR, exactly what I called out to you, as you can see. And let me just change this back out so I can see the board here. All right. I can keep an eye on what's going on in case I lose you guys. Got you on high definition. Okay, great. All right, so you see I called out AVGR and I said keep an eye on it. And you can see this opened at 10. It's still sitting at 12. So I would definitely keep an eye on AVGR. There's none to borrow. I've added that in here. So there's none to borrow. None of the stocks in here except this one. Nope, none of the stocks except for that one is even shortable. But let's go back to this one here. Opened at 91 cents. Not really much happening. This one here, there's only 15, 20 cents. Nothing worth happening. This one here, VL, Money Lion Inc. VIL, I can't read it. I got bad eyesight. VL, I think it's VL. Is that ML? Yeah, Money Lion. I'm sorry. ML. I can't see the whole thing. All right, now I'll be able to see it. ML, or just do this. There you go. ML. You can see it opened at 21. It's at 23. Definitely worth watching. For right now, let's put that one in here also. All right, ML. Enter. And you can see it came in right under AVGR. All right, let's bring this down. And this is how you use your watch list to find out what's worth, what's not. You go in, always look at the open price, the high, and where it's at. Okay, the last price. And you can see there's not much happening there. Here, it's about 40 cents, give or take. $5 is one of the hardest parts to get over and stay there on the first shot. So I don't see anything else that's extraordinary. Just the two I picked out for you, which was ML and AVGR. Where is that? Disappeared on me? Right there. It moved up towards the top. So those are the only two which are worth watching right now. Okay? So those are in the what we call the top gainers. All right? And why is it still showing this on here? Give me a second. I just want to check one thing. So I don't want to start my day off wrong. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I just want to make sure I'm around 10 seconds on delay. All right. Anything more than that is not acceptable. 15. There you go. About 10%. Okay. That's fine. All right. That means when you hear me talk, if I said buy now, I said it 10 seconds ago. Unfortunately, and I've been waiting for Deck to come up with this new software, and I will not live trade with you guys until he gives me the new software. It's just, I find, to be irresponsible. I can't trade, and then you watch me, and then try to follow me, and a lot of you will. So a lot of you do your own trades and know what to do, but there are people that will follow you, and I just think it's totally irresponsible to go in and do a live trade when you're not live. You know, I use Bubba cups. I don't know anybody what kind of cups you use. I use Bubba cups, and I really like them. They're really good. They're easy. They got a handle. I can get a handle on it. I can put it in my car, and I don't have to worry about grabbing the cup. I can grab the handle. But these tops, they break so easily. So I've bought about 4 or 5 Bubba cups over the last 2-3 years. So yesterday, the other day, I took all my cups, put them together, took a photograph of the broken tops on 3 of them out of the 5. And I sent a picture to Bubba, and they wrote me back. They sent me 3 brand new cups for free, and they said that should never happen. They said that it should never happen, and I'm a good customer, and they gave me 3 brand new cups. Isn't that nice? A company that stands behind its product. I love it. And these Bubba cups, like all of them, they're all made in China. Everything's made in China. But they don't keep things warm like they used to, I'll tell you that. And that's a brand new one. I bought that one on eBay for like $19, which is a good deal. They're like $25 for these tumblers, whatever you call them. All right, so let's take a look at the SPY real quick. I put down the contracts. You can see right now we're in the bottom of the channel. So remember, look what's going on here. Let's open this up a little wider, okay? Let's look at the SPY for a second. It came in, it finally ended up around 10 o'clock, 10, 11 into this. It came just a little bit below, a little bit above, a little bit below. Did not hit. But you see what it's doing? It's going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You can almost predict the SPY at this moment, okay? So if it continues doing what it's doing, then it's good to say that at 443.53, where are we at? 440. At 443.50, we probably have support, okay? Somewhere in that area. What do I have? I don't like the threes. I was just making them close before by hand. So let's see if it holds that. If it is, then we can do a call on a 444 call if you want to jump into an option for here. If you want to jump into an option for SPX and watch the SPY and then use 44.55. Okay? But right now you can see what's happening here. It's gone down once or twice. It went below. This is a lower VWAP. We only hit it one time. We haven't touched it. We touched, we come back up. You see, and there it is, just as I just called it. All right, so you can see it was a good call. But you can tell by watching. And a lot of times when you watch, okay, you can see and feel a part of that algorithm. It's like a heartbeat. You can feel that heartbeat and you kind of know what it's going to do. All right, boom, boom. But right now, I'd be careful because I think we're going to start. There's a little weakness. And let's go for a second and let's open up the large one and let's put the SPY in here for right now. Okay, there it is. The reason I use the big one is so I can show you, okay? All right, let's do this. And you can say that right now that our resistance is probably at the VWAP. So that's about 443.85. What do I got in here? Probably 444. Exactly. So let's say 443.85. All right. So it'll show us exactly where we are in, and I put it just below. I would have put it just above, probably at 90. But that's okay. But you see right here, we just came down and we're touching here. So we know now that, and we can see double top bottom there. We're down to about 40. So let's take this 43 to 40. It went up, but it came back down. So it's not holding, and it's bouncing now below the 13. All right. And if we do this, all right, and I'm going to go take a look real quick, and I want to show you guys how you make your trend lines. All right, for the moment. And right now I've got a high of 444.43. So I go in here, I put this to here. I look for my high day, which is probably around here. And I look to the right, and it says 444.44. I'm not going to get the 43, so I'm just going to click. And then I'm going to take this to a high over here by the arrow. And right there, okay, boom. And I will remove my left extension, which shows you exactly where I'm coming from. Now I'm going to look for my low of the day, which is 443.40. That should be about here. Let's see if I'm right. 440, oh, right on it. Look at that. 443.40. I click, and now you can see we're almost like a straight line. So I could use, I don't really need this. I really could use at this moment. I'll do it. But I could use, I didn't get it in there. Hold on. Okay. Let's cancel my left on timeline 4132. Now, I could have just kept my support resistance line and used that one. But right now you can see what's happening here. But since we're coming back down, we can also come to here and we'll do what's called the active step and bring it down and leave it on the outside right there. That's the 13 exponential. Leave it right on the outside of the 13. All right, so boom, like that. And then what I'll do is I'll cancel my left and I'm going to cancel this one on the right. Watch. Now it shows me we started up high and what's happening? We're moving down. Here we're moving across, but are we? Or are we starting to move down? You see it? See, it's getting a little bit lower. It's getting a little bit lower. So at this point, it's starting not to hold. It's starting to drop even lower, which means at this point, it's starting to form lower lows. And when stock starts to form lower lows, we don't want to get into a call. So we could see that when I said here, look at the bounce. Down, it bounced up, it tried, came down, bounced up, came down, it bounced up. I think we have to be careful here. Not only are we on the lower part of the channel, okay, and it could break out, we could come back up again, but somebody's manipulating and testing it because there's really no news at this point. National debt reaches 33 trillion. Now that's bad news. That's probably why it started to drop even further. So if we go here and we look at 1117, and there it is, bam, right about here, you see it started to drop. National debt. Nothing really changed. It just the news came out and told us about it. It's already been there. The debt concerned, but more memo crowd says the debt doesn't matter. Of course, the debt always matters, but the fact is, because the larger our debt, the more we owe China. Because the more we owe China, the more interest. We're probably paying them about $400 million a day. Now, that doesn't take in consideration what we're bringing in from there. So don't get yourself all crazy about all that stuff. It doesn't really mean anything to us, but it does mean something in the long run. A large debt for this country is not good, but we're not the only country that has it. And unfortunately, I think China's got the world by the balls, and I think they've got a lot of countries in such heavy debt. Because let's face it, like I just said, this cup I got for $18.99 or 18 whatever it was, $18.79 on Amazon. Okay, and same cup everywhere else is $20-something, and they used to be $14.15 in Walmart, so they're probably about $2-3 to manufacture in China. Okay, look at all the money being made by China, and then they were buying and buying and buying all this merchandise that we're paying for later. So when we owe money to a country like China, there's interest on top of that money when you surpass that 30, 60, or 90-day credit that they've extended to you. Now, that's something about business a lot of you don't know and don't understand if you've never been in business, okay? Especially big business. Companies like Home Depot, and let's say even contracting companies that would come into your windows, okay, that have to order merchandise to be done before they get paid the entire amount of money. They have to float money. So they need to keep their credit good so they can float their credit so they can get goods until they get paid for them and have enough time to pay it off before the interest starts. Okay? But what's happened in America is too many people got caught up in that, and now it's taking longer. They got stiff. Things happened. They didn't get paid for a job, blah, 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 blah. And now, you know what, the interest is starting to build, and then it's happening here, and it's happening here. And for small companies, it's enough to bankrupt them, and that's what happens. And then nobody gets paid, and that's the debt for the lending industries. Look at Visa, okay? They're always extending. The average American they were probably a minimum at all times, 10% in the hole. Today, with inflation being so high, meaning you may be making a little more money, but it's costing you so much more for the same thing you can't afford. You're borrowing out on your credit cards, okay? The fact is that you're probably between 15 to 25% out on your credit cards. I am not, okay? I live day to day, but not really. I'm okay if anything happened. I'm good for the next year or so. But the fact is, my credit score is over 830, and my debt is only month to month. The only time I take long credit is when it's interest free for 6 months. What I do is that so I can keep my money, I'll buy it on the interest free, and then I'll pay it 1/6 every month of what I owe until it's paid up. And they never get me for the interest because I'm not a sucker for that. Don't be a sucker for the interest game, okay? But see what's happening right now? All right, so now you can see we're getting lower, all right? And all of a sudden, we have a new, about 125, let's say. I would say it's about 130 right now, but it's dropping, okay? So let's put it at 130. We're at 433.30 is now our support. So we just went from a straight across. Look what's happening. And it just went down. You see the line here? Went from straight across to now, ba-boom. Okay. I wish it had a thing that showed me like a compass so it can show the angle, the round angle part. Now you can see we're in a descending. We're descending down and we're descending down, and we're getting even lower. So we're probably looking at 443, where yesterday we were looking at 444. We were trying to hold 444. Today we're trying to hold 443. And when the Fed starts speaking, we don't know what's going to happen at that point. All right, and I'm saying this, I'm pulling it down a little bit further, a little bit further. All right, and you can see what's happening here. So right now we went from we thought we were going to go in a call to really we needed to be in a put. And if at that time when we were over here, you were at 443, let's say, I think it was a little higher. 443 it was about 443.50. You would have made about 20 cents. Would have made a quick $100 here on 5 contracts on the SPY. On SPX, it could be a lot more. It could be 1.5 to 2 times that, because that's the way the contracts pay. But the guesswork on getting the right contract is a whole different story, because we thought it might be going back up, because what it showed us, we were going up, down, up, down, up, down. But what we were doing is we got to here, we started creating lower, say it, lower, then to here, lower, 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 now lower. And here we are once more, we're creating lower highs, okay? And when that starts to happen, that means the markets are reversing. So we go into VinViz now and we take a look. Well, I don't remember what we were at before. Let's see, it's 167. Let's see if it'll change. 170. We're still holding. It's still good because the overall is still good, though the SPY itself is dropping. All right, the SPY can drop and the markets can still stay good if everything else is doing well. All right, I don't know how well everything else is doing at this point, but I just know right now, I know like Deck's not doing any. He's not doing any. He says he's not. He's not doing any more trading right now till the afternoon, until they speak, and he'll be back at around 1:30. I'm not trading anything myself right now. I'm just sitting on my hands waiting. And let's see, we had this at 433.85. I think we're down now to about 65. So we could put this down to, let's say even 75. We're going to keep dropping it a little lower and a little lower. Let's see, 75. Let's just see where that puts us. Yeah, I like that right there. All right, so you can see what's happening here. And that's what the SPY looks like right now. This is even a little bit lower. So we can edit this down and say we're probably at about 25 for support. All right. It's at 443 support, but we put it at approximately where it's at or the low that it's hit. All right. Now, when we go back right now and we take a look, all right, and the good thing is whatever I change one chart, it'll reflect it on any other chart. And when you look here, okay, again, I did them very quickly earlier. All right. So I want to bring this down, and I can see this one also, my VWAP. All right, I'm going to put it right below the VWAP. It's going to be right above it, 75. So it's right there above it. All right, and then here I've got the 432. Let's see, that's NVIDIA. It's always going to be a little different. That's your lower VWAP. It's probably 75. I'm going to put this at 75. All right, it might be right below, using the lower VWAP now as your spring point, where you're going to spring up, and if you can see, we're really holding underneath this VWAP. So we're somewhere in between there. And that's the way it looks for this one also. But right now, everything in the anticipation is not good. I mean, people right now, look at the climb here. Let's go back to the SPY for a second. And you can see all of a sudden, out of nowhere, right? Boom. Let's bring this up to here. Right there. So you can see, and I told you what was happening. It was going up, it was going down, it was going up, it was going down. Now it goes up again, but where to? This time it went right slightly above the 13 exponential. So now we know we're somewhere between here and there. But again, I think this is still even lower unless we start to climb up. I'm going to put this down to about 50. Where are we at? We just hit 50, so it's not 50, 75. Let's see, 65? Looks so close. Let's put this at about 65. 65. Where did I go? There, bam. And that'll put, I don't know. But either way, we're bearish here, we're bearish here, we're bearish here. So the whole market has gotten bearish, and everything is by the lower VWAPs. If you're not using lower VWAP and upper VWAP plots, you're making a big mistake. It's almost as good as knowing how to use Bollinger Bands. in the same type of category because they work and there's a reason for them. So you should really try to put them in. They're free. Just utilize it and use them. Okay. And let's see. We're going to take this one down to also the VWAP. And we're going to leave this one at 267. So this will put us just below where I think it's going to bounce. If we come up, we've been below it, we'll probably bounce to it. Let's see. But with Tesla, you never know. If good news comes out and Tesla now says, now we're going to be, manufacturing or cars or assembling cars in Mexico and here or here or here. And, you never know. They're always making deals, and he's always on the phone. Why do you move the trend line instead of drawing a new one? Why do you move the trend line instead of drawing a new one? Why do I move it? I do move it. It's easier to move it than draw a new one. To draw a new one, give you a for instance, okay? If this is, all right, you're talking this trend line here, all right? Because I'm giving you the where we are in the trend line at that time. If you're looking at deck, he'll give you the full day. So what is my daily going to show me, okay? Here's the high of the day right there. So if I look at my daily trend line, okay, and I extend it to the right, I still have it. It's there, all right? Now, what I've done is I've left that there. I just took away the line, the one part, and I drew you another extension, what I call the active step, all right? Because it's a step down. And what it does is by removing this now, I'm only removing the right extension. The line is still there, all right? If I keep it there and I keep this here, it's going to get too crazy for new persons like yourself, okay? So why I do it this way is I can see exactly. Now, if I go to the bathroom, if I go to answer the door, if I go to take a phone call, if I leave for whatever reason and come back in 5 minutes, I can look now and say, well, while I was gone, I can see this went up. So I can activate this now, all right, pull this down, and I can put it right up to here. And I can see exactly where I'm at and where I'm going. And I can take a look at this here, and I can see the squeeze position. I can usually call when a stock is going to squeeze down or squeeze up, or it's just giving me a false up and down for, let's say, like a fake out breakout. I mean, I don't know that all of a sudden someone's not going to buy 100,000 shares of the SPY and manipulate this thing up and then come back down like up in here. There's more manipulation with this stock than any other stock, so you have to understand that. So why do I move the trend line instead of drawing a new one? Because if I have to draw a new one, every time I draw a new thing, I've got to come down here, I've got to go in here, I got to go here, and then I go boom, boom, and I got to set this thing up. Then I got to open this thing up, or not activate it. I got to open this thing up, I got to edit it, I got to rename it to what I call it, the new trend line, whatever we call it, right? New trend line. And then I've got to recolor it, all right, for the red for the upper, green for the lower. Okay, so let's say this is an upper. I got to make it red, all right? And then in my trend lines, I usually do, well, I keep them solid, and then I want to show it on the right. So let's see all the steps I got to go through, and then I got to figure out what price. So even if I left it at 444, all right, I say, okay, and now I've got to go and extend it to the left. You see how many steps I just had to take and how long it took me to do it? I'm not interested, all right? I'm not interested. It's not worth it. I'm better off doing it the way I'm doing and just making the new line this way. It takes much less time, all right? Except when I do the active step. I am doing just about as many. The only difference is I only have to do this, okay? So if I do this, then I can go from anywhere, from a point to a point, and I can draw it that way, and it's much easier to get it in there. It always comes up in green. The only difference I might want is resistance. Now I do just the opposite color, okay, than actually Thinkorswim does. Because if I go to Thinkorswim and I go up here right now, and I go in and I want to edit and add a study right now, they have a study called support and resistance. Let's see what they put in. Ready? Automatically, support and resistance. I just put it in here. I'm going to apply it and watch. Okay, it's going to put in these trends, which I already know. You can see they're coming down slightly. They're in a downward, just like what's happening, just like what I'm showing you. But their line's here, and here's theirs right there. Here's one. Let's see. No, this is one of theirs here, and their other one is, I think, right on mine. Well, this is their other one right here. This is their resistance. So all the way up here at 444, 443.94. I've already told you it's at 444, but as it came down, I brought it down and gave you a new resistance even lower, so you don't feel that, well, I'm okay up to 444. You're not good up to 444. It could drop, so I try to keep my channel into about $1 or less. So right now, they put it up here, and they put it right here for their support. Is this really their support, or is my support down here? I see my support as being here, okay? So now when I take this away, watch this. Let's remove the study. Support resistance, watch what disappears. They're gone. So there's my support, there's their resistance. The only difference is I see my support here, 443.25, I'm still holding it. I went down below it once, twice, 3 times, just slightly, but it pulled back above it. So from 443.25, I've got a channel now from 25 to 65, which is 40 cents. That's a small channel. That's only 40 cents in here. It should look more like this, okay? But now you can see exactly where we're at. I open it up so you can see it better. And don't forget to put this back here. So I do things a little bit differently than everybody else does, okay? But I do it in a way that you can actually see which way the markets are going, all right? Like this line here, it's moved again. It's moved again. This is my trend, all right? I can leave it like you're saying, all right? Or I can keep bringing it to where the bottom so you see exactly where it's at. If you go out of the room and you come back, and you know what I'm showing you here? I'm showing you a descending step here, and now a descending step here, and here is my squeeze play. And where's my squeeze play at this moment? Up or down? You can see it's down here, and it's down here. And that's exactly what it's doing. And we keep creating, since here, creating lows, 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 lower lows, lower lows, just as I told you. Does that make sense to you or not? If you see it differently, tell me what you see. I won't get angry. Whatever's right that works for you is what's right. I hope I did explain it well enough that you could understand it. But there's a reason, especially if you're new, it allows you to see the active steps of which way we're really moving, okay? Instead of just looking at a whole mishmash and saying, well, which way are we really going, okay? Here's my top, here's my bottom here, there's a bottom here, there's a bottom here. Where do I put my alerts? And now we're hitting a new bottom. What this is doing is rechanneling us. So at this minute here, I don't want to bring it this low, but I'm going to show you. Let's bring it to 53. Let's make it 55, okay? You can see that my channel is getting tighter and tighter. So we've gone from one channel on the top to a second channel, and now from a third channel, now we're down to a fourth channel in here. This is the channel that we're in. So that when you go to say to yourself right now, okay, I'm going to bring this down a little lower also, all right, because I'm going to show you why. All right, now let's bring this down to, and I always even it off. All right, so if it's 20, 25, 15, what do I, 18? I'm going to make it 15 because I think that's about where we really are. Bingo. Okay, so from 15 to 55 is what, 40 cents? We're still in that 40 cents channel. All right, if I look that I'm on the bottom, I don't play breakouts. Do I think it's going to drop down? Do I want to play it? If I was to bet right now, I would bet it's still going to drop a little lower. Now, I could be wrong. It might bounce up to the 13 exponential right there and then come back down. Look, let's see what it's doing. Exactly what I'm saying. Let's make it a little larger so you can see it. All right. And I'm sorry, I'm spending a little more time on this so more people do understand why we do what I do. All right. It's showing me direction. Okay. It's showing me everything. It's actually, I don't like to even cross the line. So truthfully, I would have brought this to here. All right. Like that. And then what I'm going to show you now is there's another active step, and I'll show you why. Let's take this and bring it from here, right? And now bring it this way. Now watch what happens, all right? Let's cancel my left. Let's cancel my right. Let's cancel the right. Now you'll see we have a third step. There's your first step. Here's your second step. And there's your third step. And you can see they're stepping down. New direction. We're still coming down. And that gives us right to here. If we pop up further than this line would extend, then I will get rid of this one and extend this one. But right now, we're still holding. We're on a third line down. And we're still from the Well, this moved, but it should be. It moved. So one of these times it moved. Should be at the low of the day, which is right there. Okay. Let's see. It should be the low of the day. Yeah, I think this is lower. This is lower than here. So we don't want to put it from here. We want to keep it from here. That was the low of the day at that point. So we went to the low to here. All right. Now you can see we're pushing up a little bit, pushing up. Now what I'll do is I'll activate it and always pull down first a little bit. So, and there you go. You see how it moved up further? So what I'll do now is I extend this to the right. It's touching. I get rid of this. I don't no longer need this. All right. And then I can just adjust this line. Now I can see we're starting to push up. There would be another one from here to here. We're starting to push back up. How far? Here's your 13. I told you before, we'll probably push to the 13 exponential, maybe a little bit further, and then probably pull back down again because we're still showing a decline. So until we see anything different or we get above the VWAP, we're still very bearish at this point. And the markets are going down. And there's anticipation. We might see some spikes come because, right now, that the Feds are going to speak. So a lot of people don't want to be taken advantage of right now. Look at these two right here. You look at Tesla, look at Nvidia. They're in the middle of the channel. They're in the middle. I do not trade in the middle of a channel. I trade on the top or I trade on the bottom. I don't trade in the middle. I always wait for what do you call it? What's that called? What's the word? I look for retracement. I look for a 20 to 40% retracement on a stock before I jump in. And there, look what's happening now. Just as I said. You might see some action here. All right? And why? Let's go back to the big one again. Let's go back to the big one. So right here, I can see that right now, somebody just did about 63,000 shares, which is not a lot. It's under average. I look to initiate a trade if we close above or below the trend line. However, I'm very open to learn new things. Yes, but in what direction? If you go above a trend line, are you going to go up and trade? Are you going to trade the breakout? Or if it goes above the trend line, are you going to go the opposite way? Which way are you going to go? That's what I want to know. Because every time on the SPY, we've gone above the trend line. Figure this was the trend line. Okay? Every time we went above, it came down. Every time it hit it, it came down. Every time it hit it, it came down. Didn't make it, came down. It hit it again. Look what happened. You're going to play the breakout? See what happened? It came all the way down. Above the is a call. You see, I understand. And if you did that any time today on any one of these, you would have lost each time. Okay? I don't do that. What I will do is, let's say a stock, I'm not going to take the SPY, but let's take a stock that's coming from $2.25, and we think $3 is the target. So it comes to 285, comes back to 270, comes to 290, comes down to 275. It comes up to 299, 298, comes back a little, 292. Then it goes to 302, 303. Do I play the breakout? Not me. Absolutely not. I wait then. If it went to 305, 306, okay, and then came back to 295, then I'll play the breakout. I want to see some strength in that position that tells me it's going to go even further. But if it only goes to 301, 302, somebody's pushing it, they're manipulating it. What they're causing at that point is a fake out breakout. You go in for the thing, they drop the price, you lose your money. And that's what's happening. And this is a heavily manipulated stock in the SPY on a much larger scale. And if you're not careful, you would have done the calls anytime today in this, unless you got it on the bottom and took it each time it went up, it came down. Call. You got it. You did a little, what I call an eagle, what do you call that? Oh, God, I can't think of the word. What do you call it? It'll come to me. So it goes down, you go long. It comes down, you go long. You're talking, you go to the trend line, you go long, and it goes down on you. So how many times has this been successful for you? DRJ. I don't know what your name is, but Jay, what is, how successful are you with that? And if you're not, take a look at what I'm saying. I'm not picking on you or anything like that. I'm just trying to make you understand from my 6 years of trading why things happen. Okay? And how long have you been trading? And when do we get you to drop the J and put up a photo? So you become part of the family here. Or something, you know. I don't know what the J stands for. Is that your name? Start with a J? DRJY. Are you going to rap for us? It sounds like some rapper name. They were walking around with, I was watching on like TikTok, and they were walking around saying to anybody, can you rap? And this one guy out of nowhere, just like, you know, Jack. There you go, Jack. Like from Heartland, the old man Jack. I love that movie. Anybody here watch Heartland? I love Heartland. I've watched every series twice, every episode. Welcome, Jack. Listen, I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you're putting out any questions that you have. Listen, you don't have to agree with me, okay? This is not a communist, you know, monopoly here. You can disagree with me, but if you do, just tell me why. Tell the room why. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to ridicule you. What works for you? If you do something different, there are so many tools. Let me show you something. You could go into here. Let's go into, where the heck is it? Jeez. Okay, here. You can go into here, and I can put up the word Bollinger Bands, right? B-O-L. See the Bollinger Bands? I can go into here, and I can put in shared. I've got, this is my scalper alert, okay? You got a free one in here you can get. It's called TTM. You can go get the TTM scalper alert and the squeeze. That's these arrows, and that's this down here, except I have the Pro. You have to pay for the Pro, okay? There are so many programs. Just read through this list. You can go through this list. Those are all different programs. This is about 200, 300 tools in here. Who the hell knows what an elegant oscillator is or what it does? But I can go in right now and take that word elegant oscillator. Watch this, okay? What is elegant? E-L, where is it? Hold on. Elegant oscillator. O-S-C-I-L-L-A-T-O-R in T-O-S. I don't know what that is. Do you? Yeah, this is what it is. You ready? Okay, just watch this. So there are so many tools. All right, here you go. An elegant oscillator is a technical indicator based on a signal processing techniques. It calculates the inverse Fisher transforms of price and applies the super smoother filter to it. The resulting line oscillates between the values between 0.1 and -1. Now, this might be a great tool. I don't know. So you can, just put that's an Elliott oscillator. Here's an Elliott oscillator. Did I just put that in by accident? Yeah, I did. I don't want that one. Let's look at the one we just looked at. Elegant oscillator. All right, let's apply it and say okay. So right now, I don't even know what it did. Okay, here's my whole setup. I don't see the oscillator in here. Does anybody see it? I don't even see where it's, oh, here it is. I'm sorry. Right here. So you see this? It works almost like a MACD. This works like a MACD. This, to me, is much better. This one here, the Squeeze Pro, is like the MACD on steroids. All right, and the colors all tell you another story. All right, I don't really want this, so let's see. How do I get rid of this? Let's see. Oh, duty. What did I do? Oh, dear, what did I do? Papers in black and I'm feeling blue. Tell me, oh, what can I do? All right, let's get rid of it right now. But my point is, there are so many tools in here, but I don't want you to start weighing your tool belt down and put too many tools in there because you can have too much, okay? And you'll get confused. And look what's happening here. You see what's happening? We're going back up. Going back up. So you can see now what's happened is if I walked out of the room and just come back, I can see that while I was gone, the whole thing just went up. Now you see how far it went up? Watch this. I'm going to put that out of the way. And now I'm going to take my original step, extend it to the right. I don't even need this one anymore. I can just remove it. All right. So here I'm back to my original trend line. And my squeeze now, watch this. So I can change my step in here now, and I can do this. And I can go from here to my 13 this way. Watch this. See that line there? This blue is a 13 exponential. Put it right there in front of it, all right? I'm going to remove my left, and then here, okay, I don't need which one? I don't need this one anymore. So right here, I'm going to remove my right. And now I have a new step. And it shows me we were descending, but now we're ascending. And this gets pushed up, up, and up. Now we can look and say, you know what? My resistance has been moved up. And my resistance now is probably the VWAP, which I'm going to say is approximately 75. All right? And I'm going to leave it there. Our true trend now, it would be back to 444. But I want to put it to the immediate moment of where we're at. And you can see this is why I do it this way. So now you can see when we're going up or when we're coming down. Does that make sense? That's a whole new way of looking at this when you're new to figure out direction of a stock. And I came up with this myself, for you. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. But you have to realize something, okay? You have to realize that this particular stock, okay, is the most manipulated stock in the market. There is the only stock that's as manipulated as this is Tesla. But the difference is Tesla is more manipulated not only by the people trading it, but it's also manipulated by more news, okay? So if Elon says, hey, like, yes, 2 days ago, he said, we are now opening up factories in Turkey, and we're opening up factories we're talking about opening factories to do our EV cars in Saudi Arabia. This is a real punch in the nose to China because they have a car they're trying to compete. Yet EV cars made by Elon Musk are being made in China also, okay? So, and he allows that because it's got to be fair trade, all right? And if he sells them within China, he doesn't have to pay the export tax. So there's a lot of money to be made. And he knows that. He's shrewd. He's smart. He's the smartest man in the world. He's the richest man in the world. So, you know, we can all learn. Try to think like a billionaire, like a millionaire and a billionaire, because they don't think like you and I do. They think differently. They think out of the box. And you have to learn to try to think out of the box if you want to be a good trader. All right? Sometimes if you're not winning and you're not doing well, take a step back. Take a step back and then do as if I did this, what and this, and this, what's going to happen? Do some paper trading. Take a step back. Don't chase losses, okay? Take a step back. Okay? Now, I had a $6,000 loss 3 months ago, and I said goodbye to the room, and I went and I concentrated, and I made back $7,400. So I made back the $420 for the commissions. I made back my $6,400, and I made an extra $550 for myself. That's from a $6,000 loss, and it took me 2 hours to do it. Listen, you can do whatever you put your mind to, all right? I don't like trading while I'm talking to you here because I'm not that guy. I'm not that good at it that way. Deck is great. He's been doing it. He was doing it for 8 years before I met him, doing it, or 5 years, whatever, you know? And I'm a little older, so I'm also more conservative than most of you young guys. You're 28, you take more chances, all right? And I'm not trying to make this all about you and me here today, Jay, but the fact is, I'm talking to all of you. Younger people do things that older people don't do. They take more chances. A 5-year-old who's never touched that red hot stove is more apt to say, let me see if that really is going to hurt me, opposed to the 20-year-old who's been cooking on that stove for 15 years or 10 years, you know? He's not going to take that chance. We take chances more when we're younger. That's why so many young people today who are smart and who can pick this up are making millions in a year. I've seen people come into Deckmart Trades and do P&L every day, show their P&Ls every single day. I saw 2 guys start with 12. One guy started with 12,500 and made 1.1 million. I saw another guy start with 30,000, an 18-year-old. He got thrown out of here, but I'm not going to talk about him. But he took $30,000 and made $1 million and was driving a Lamborghini at 18 and a half. Okay? So this is real deals. There's real people in here making real money, okay? It's one thing to talk about what you're really making, and it's another to do it, all right? So the best thing to do is make your money, enjoy the days that you do, but make sure you're a good loser when you lose, because you're going to lose. There are going to be days that you lose. What makes you a good trader is how you don't chase that loss, how you know how to walk away and say, you know what? Tomorrow's a better day. It is a better day. And you can see what's happening here, okay? On this trend line here. Oops, I don't want to do that. Let's take this off. You always got to remember to put the hand back. But you can see here what's happening. We're still moving up. And there, went from there. Well, let's see. The line looked like it moved up. Yeah, it did move up because I was on it here. So we're still moving up slightly. Okay, and you can see what's happening there. Let's go back to our 3 and 1. Now we went from the bottom here to the top, right at the VWAP. We went from the bottom here. Look where I made my resistance. Look where we're at. Look where I made my resistance. Look where we're at. It doesn't have to be exact. Sometimes I just don't want to put it right on the line, okay? I don't want to cover. So I'm able to put it either right below or just right above. It doesn't mean that my number is exactly right. It doesn't have to be exact. It has to be in an area that you can understand exactly what it means and where we're going with it. I need to check real quick. All right, 41, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm just checking to see 45. I just want to see how much of a delay. 45, 3, 4. Okay, 10 seconds. We're still good. All right. I'd like to get it to 6 or 7. It would be great. All right, and I'm still looking above at my Meta chart. I have Meta above on another computer. And also, Meta, my resistance, I'm going to move it, okay, right down above the VWAP, whatever it might be. And the same thing for AMD. I'm going to activate that and bring it right above the VWAP. And every one of these stocks are pretty much in the same place. So, Frank, right here, if I show you my Meta, okay, so let's go to Meta. Is it here? No. Let's put it in here. META. Probably won't come up. It won't. All right, let's go here, make it auto. You can see here. All right. You can see it's right below the VWAP. All right. If I go to AMD, you'll see same thing. All right. Doesn't always come up because the things are too small. Right below the VWAP. We're all setting on all of them about the same place. All right. So right now, all the stocks that we see had gone bearish. All went bearish. AMD not as bad as, let's say, and Meta not as bad. Now, Meta did go down pretty far. Meta went down to the lower VWAP. Look at the lower VWAP here on Tesla. They all pretty much hit the lower VWAP. And that's why I'm telling you, you've got to have that lower VWAP plot in there all the time. And if you don't know how to do it, all you do is you go to the VWAP. That's the white one right there. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can get it on there. I want the VWAP. Okay, let's just try a different way. Let's do it this way. If I open it up, I might be able to get on it. Okay, bingo. See, it says VWAP. See, it says show the plot. Here it says upper band. That's this one here. That's the upper band. Show the plot. Go to the lower band and make sure that they're checked. And then apply it. And you'll have a lower band and an upper band. And you have no idea how great a tool this is. Because I have studied the SPY, how it opens in the morning, and 90% of the time, whichever way it starts, it ends up going the other way. Let's see what happened today. I wasn't watching this morning. I was working on a machine in my house, fixing something. So it went, look at this. Right off the bat, it went down. I always wait 3 minutes before I'll trade. So that was 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4th minute. Look what happened. All the way up to the top. Study the SPY and you'll see. Wait 3 minutes and do a call. Okay? If it went the other way and hit the top, wait 3 to 5 minutes, do a put. And you will win 90% of the time. Okay? And if it doesn't go the right way, then make sure that you get out at 5% and you shouldn't lose more than $100 to $125. That's what I look for. I look for a loss of up to $125. Look at that. Dang that. I can't believe it moved like that. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Sometimes you got to move this in a different direction to get it to go where you want it. Okay, there we go. So you see what's happening here. Now we're having a push up. So instead of we were descending before, remember we had a line going down. Now we got a line going up, and this is being pushed up. See, right there, it's a little higher again. Look, watch this. If I can get my line on it. And that's why I do it. I don't want that. That's not what I want. I want activate. Activate. And you see, it's going to go up a little bit higher, right on top of that doji. And now it's pushing up. And I can see the top is pushing up and the bottom is pushing up. And I'm thinking that pretty soon the announcement's going to come and we could end up right up here today at about 444. 444 and change. We'll see. Because I think it's going to be a very good announcement. I think that It's going to say that there is not going to be a raise in the interest rates, and I think the market's going to go. So get ready to be doing calls. That's my opinion, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. All right? That's my opinion. Anybody else have an opinion on that? Let's see. Lunch commentary. Who's live now? Deck will be back when at 1:30, he said? I think he said 1:30. 2 hours. 2-hour warning. Fed's results are out at 2 hours. So 2 o'clock, the Feds come out. And after we hit 12 p.m., be ready for a dead 2 hours. So Deck thinks it's going to be dead for the next 2 hours. I don't agree. I think it's going to be choppy. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Even if the does dump, just get ready for this afternoon to pump back up. That's exactly what I'm reading Deck's room. And that's exactly what I said. He said even if it dumped, which it did, get ready for it to pump back up. And that's exactly the way I see it. See, Deck and I are on the same page. Not always. I don't always agree with him. And that's okay. You know what? He knows that. I don't have to agree with him. He's usually right, but I don't always agree with him. He'll be back live at 1:50 today. When he does, I'm going to go off. Okay? So when Deck comes back on, I'm going to go off. But I'm going to take a break for lunch. It is lunchtime right now. I'm hungry. And nobody here brought me lunch. So let's put the... come on. What the heck's going on here? There we go. Here we go. There we go. I'll probably go make something to eat, come back, and then go live. You know, I'll keep it live. I'll keep everything running. And I'm going to just take off for about 15, 20 minutes. And I'll come back before everybody else does. And here on the bottom, you can see now that 43.55. What are we at here? 443.15. I'm just going to make it 25. So I'll leave it at 443. I want to be right above that lower VWAP. There you go. So I'm right above that lower VWAP, and I'm still below the VWAP. And there's my channel for the SPY. Okay? And then here you got, let's see, make this a little bit larger. I don't want to make it too large because it makes the time go faster in here. I'm above this, the VWAP, below the VWAP here. The only thing is I kept this right above it. Let's see something. I can put this down to 65. Just to tweak it a little lower. Boom. There you go. I'm still above that VWAP. The VWAP's at about 50, I think. 53, 56, let's see. 50. I think I can put it 50 and put it right on it above. I'll go 55. Let's see what it does. 55. I really don't like to be on the line. That's good. I'm just above it. This one I'm just below it. But you can see there was a double top there. Here you can see there was a double, a little bit, one above it. Okay, and here you can see we're really just above it. So I'm going to put this at 25 on Tesla. All right, so let's make this 267.25. And all I'm doing, it doesn't mean I'm 100% correct. I'm just tweaking it out the way I see it. And then, of course, this one here we were slightly below. So I'm going to leave it there. It should be at around 50. I don't know where I'm at. 45, that's fine. All right. Any other questions here? Because I see a bunch of you have left the room. AK's live right now. So some of you might be there. If I have no questions, then I have no answers. What do I got going? What do I got? Cart's out of business. That's not happening. CART, CCG. I'm taking this out of my class here. AMD, I'm good. AMD's up. AVGR is still up. AVGR is still up. About 75 cents. Tesla's only up 44 cents. The SPY's only up 80 cents. And let's see. NVIDIA is down today. And SPX is up about $8. So you can see the contracts from the SPY to what do you call it, are about 3 to 1 on SPX to the SPY. That's why I always play SPX. If I'm going to bet that a stock is going from here to here, why get 1 to 1 when I can get 3 to 1? I'm already getting 101, which allows me to buy the stock, but I want to get paid off 3 to 1 instead of 1 to 1. So if it goes up $1 on the SPY, I make $1. So 500 shares, five contracts, 500 shares. I make $500. But if I do SPX for the same 500 and I get 3 to 1, I'm getting 1,500. So for the same effort, I get 1,500 from SPX, or I get 500 from the SPY. Which one you want to go with? But remember, if it goes the opposite way, you will lose twice as much. Now, you can see here, there was a push down. All right, so I activate this, and I'll just bring this to my low point. So I can see now my actual spread, all right, is right here. Not spread, really the spread is here. That's the spread between here and here. But I can see the spread here for the squeeze play. And it shows me when it pulls down. Remember, pull back, spring forward, okay? The further back it pulls back, the further it's going to spring forward. And they're all trying at the same time. Boom, boom, and boom here. But these two are right above the VWAP. This one's still below. All right, we're good? Any questions? Questions, comments, concerns? Nothing? Should I shut up? Anybody still here? All right. All right, then I'll see you guys after lunch. If nobody has anything to say. Come in. Someone knocking on the door, someone ringing the bell. No music at Dex. He turned it off. Wow. Let's go. Yeah. I really hate this music. I do. How much can you listen to this? I like real music, but that's fine. To each his own, okay? The reason he can't play the music we really like is because if we play it, what happens is we get copyright infringements, and then the tape, when we make a tape, this becomes a tape in YouTube. You cannot play the tape, they'll take it off. So you lose it anyway. And just want to shout out to those that might be in YouTube. You know, I didn't say anything to you guys this morning. I'm sorry. It's not that I forget that you're there. It's just that I forget that you're there. So I know that there's right now about 4 people in there. No, 5. Actually, there's more. It's about 6 people in YouTube that might not be in. And let's see, new subscriber, Carlos. Welcome. 24 minutes ago. Good. Welcome, Carlos. I love to see new people coming in, you know, subscribing. Up to 718. You know, you actually get paid after 1,000 subscribers, and then you have to get a certain amount of views. I never did it for the money. I really did it to help people, you know. I figured, you know what, I learned something a long time ago, and that is that we cannot keep, we can't keep what we got unless we give it away. That's what I learned a long time ago. And let's see, I forgot to sign out of eBay. I was in eBay this morning. I had to buy some stuff. So I love eBay. I live on it. And it pays me about $2,000 a month. It's another stream of income that I have. So let's see, IPOBC. Where am I at here? Okay, that's good. All right, I'll see you guys after lunch. All right. So stick around. Come back. Whatever you got, I'll see you around 12:30. Bye. Hello. Okay. I made myself a slice of pizza. Let's see what happens. See, so I went in the kitchen. I haven't been around. I can come back and say, all right, well, I can see now 268. What do we got here? Hello. Okay. That shouldn't have gone on. I had the speaker on. I was playing back some of the stuff that I was talking to you guys about before. So that was still on. All right, so I'm looking here now, and this should be at about 268 will be the resistance on Tesla. Boom. And you can see this one now. The resistance is what I told you before. The true resistance was 444. And now you can see, and I could have had a double line to show the alert for that, but back up to 4444, just like I said. If you play back the tape, you'll listen to it. Now, if you take this bottom line, you can activate it. Now you can see we're moving up here, and we did have a drop down, a slight drop down here when I was gone. So we activate this, and we want to bring this to the lowest point there. If anything else, we would have an active step at this point, which would show us, okay, I want to get rid of this here. I don't need this anymore. And you know what? I'll come back to that. I could have an active step going here, which would show a line from here going up. But I think this is good enough for right now. Okay. Put my phone back in there. Take another bite of this pizza. And you can see that's why it's so good. When you go away, you come back, you can see exactly what's happening. I mean, I can have trend lines for all of these. But right now, I wasn't expecting much. But I did say I felt the market's going to go up in anticipation of what the Feds are about to say, which, and if they know better, they know also if they say anything else, that market's going to come tumbling down, and I don't think they really want that at this time. They want to make Biden look good, even though he sucks. He is the worst. Here we go. This one is 267 now on 267 for support on Tesla. There we go. You can see the line going up. Everything's pushing up. Look, no arrows on the display. Pizza's good. I made it from scratch. Where's my napkin? I used some old cheddar cheese that I had left over, and I threw some on, but I don't like cheddar. I like the Cumberland, the Jack cheese. Really good. Cheddar I'm not into. A little bitter. Put it in the crust. I also bought a bottle of, you know, when you make the everything bagels, I take that everything spice in a bottle and I put it on the pizza, on the crust. Unbelievable. Everything pizza. Okay, and then here you can see, I'm going to bring this one up now. 435, let's see. I'm watching the chart. About 434. 434.50. Might be higher. Let me see what 13 is. That's a mistake. Good thing I caught it. 434.50 puts us there. We're about 67. I'm gonna leave it there. That's fine. Remember, it's NVIDIA. You always want to have a little more NVIDIA. And there was only one top there. I'm gonna leave it there for right now. So we're at 75. 436. 436. It's probably a little lower, but we're gonna leave it there. Puts everything above the VWAP. So we've come from being in bearish territory to bullish. Sorry, I'm talking while I'm eating. Wow. I should have added water to this juice. This juice, 1 ounce is 70 calories. And it's an 18-ounce cup, but there's a lot of ice. So it's probably half ice. So that means if it's 18, it's about 9. That's about 600 calories in 1 glass of juice. That's unbelievable. That's not good. Never buying that again. Just water it down. Best thing to do. All right. Sorry, popped the calculator by accident. Here's your FinViz real quick. Uh-oh. What happened here? I lost my internet before for a second. I'm not sure why this is. Okay. We're up 211, so the internet is up. See that? 211. NASDAQ is down, but the Russell is about even. The S&Ps are up $11, which is, anticipation of what's happening. LIV, look at this stock. LIFW. Let's put the watch list in here. I don't have that stock in here. I'm going to put it in. LIFW. That's a warrant. Anything that ends with a W is usually a warrant, and we don't trade it. It's too low anyway. Is that a warrant? Map recovery information helps. Most stocks that end with a W. I didn't realize it was under. I really am not interested. I don't buy stocks under the dollar. DOTC we have. BJDX we still have. I think it's in there. It is number 2. SCS is still there. Schwinn. Okay, that one is good. CATC. Have that one too. And SCS again. Look, it's in there twice. One's a new high. That's why. Okay. ARM we can see is really went down. I don't need that in there. I can't get in here. It's like I'm stuck here. What did I do? Oh, I see why. Error occurred. Okay, that's fine. Got it. ARM. I'm gonna get rid of ARM. CVNA as Carvana. I keep an eye on that stock. Oxy I can get rid. Well, let's see. Carvana. I wish it was a shortable stock. SQL. Very, very little. I'm gonna get rid of it. And 43. Let's see. 40,000 ML. 73,000. I'm gonna get rid of this one too. I don't like stock. If there's no volume, I wouldn't play with them. CRNX. Very little volume. Okay. There you go. Unless they start, you can watch stocks like that. They start to get real volume, then go look out for the news and see what's really happening. Okay. There you go. There's a little bit of a pullback right now. You can see the channels that we're in. Okay. And then, of course, this one here is going to be brought up. So let's activate this one and bring it up to about 443.25. Let's see. 443, actually 50. I'm going to leave it at 50. There you go. Just do 5. That's perfect. You got 1, 2, 3 bottoms there. So that's good. Perfect. We're in good shape, and I can eat my lunch. Really not much happening. Same thing with Meta, and AMD did go above my resistance. So AMD, I'll just tell you in case anybody's watching it, I would put my resistance at AMD at 290. Just say 103. It's a little high. Yeah, it's about 103 would be the resistance point. 103. It's another mouse, another keyboard. 103, and that brings the support should be about 102. So I'll edit that one. That goes up a whole dollar. 102. It was too low anyway. Yeah, there you go. It's perfect. Yeah, definitely perfect under the VWAP. Actually, it's a little higher. It's about 102.40, which would put it right under the VWAP. 102.40. I'm going to just make it 102.25. I'm still going to keep it under the VWAP. I don't know why I got a piece of Let's see. There you go. Got it out of the keyboard. 102, what did I say? 25. Okay. I want to bring it up a little. That's fine. I'm not going to show it to you right now. It doesn't really matter. But I am always watching other stocks. I have 2 computers set up. One is a laptop. In that laptop, there's a screen to the left. And then I have a desktop. There's a screen to the right. And then there's a screen up on top. And I'm going to put one more eventually. So I can put up to 6 monitors on that one. I used to have 2 cards. Each card held 6. But I bought the computer for $500 at the flea market. It was a very high-end gaming computer, 4X computer, and I sold the card for $350. So I ended up paying $200 for the computer. Okay, who wants me now? Who wants me? There's another guy from the. Just you and Enrique. Mm-hmm. Okay, any questions? We're all just waiting. Right now, at this point, there's a little bit of manipulation. Hold on. Okay. Everything just slow down. Slow down. Let's see what's going on out there. Checking the other one. Juan. Where's Juan? I wonder why he's still in there. Juan's trades. I don't think he's here anymore. Wow. Is anybody here doing prop trading? If so, I'd like to know how that's working out. Yeah, I agree with Deck. If you haven't traded yet, just sit back and wait. If you want to speculate, then you can put a you can put a larger stop loss, but you can speculate long. If you want to take a chance, and make sure you put a stop loss the other way just in case. And I would do that a few minutes before the opening. Well, it's going to go up and down depending on what he says. So you don't want too tight of a stop loss, but on the other hand, you don't want to lose money either, or a considerable amount of money. That was good. One slice. I could eat two very easily, and I cut. It was two slices together, and I cut one a little larger than the other. I'm trying to lose a little weight, so I don't want to overeat. This fruit juice is not a good thing. Too many calories. Is anybody here listening to me right now? Or should I just go away? Oh shoot, what did I just do? Okay, still here. To the moon, are you here? Saint, what are you doing? Are you working today? Mogul and the Spy Proby. Hanging. How we doing, Spy Proby? JP Trader. I thought we were going to talk. We never did. And Fund Manager. Very loyal. Yeah, this definitely has to be watered down. I'll finish my coffee. Yeah, let the ice melt. All right, guys. If nobody is actually, nobody's really listening, I think what I'm going to do, since it was a really good lesson this morning, I'm going to stop the tape right now. I'm going to reboot it, make another tape so I don't lose what I've already done, and put some good music on in the background. All right with you guys? So I will be back. I am going to reboot YouTube so I can keep and be right back. Okay? So don't go away. I will be right back. And 4 people ran away. All right, let's do that. Let's end.